Covered it numerous fucking times. I think there's a lot of freaks on either side of the spectrum. There's a lot of people also, like, understandably, covering. I mean, just like farming the trial, which is fine. I mean, you know, that's what we do. It's like a super easy way to fucking make videos and shit. That's why you're seeing so many. That's why you're seeing so many people just like that normally would never. That normally say like, no politics, ew, yuck. Be like, oh no, I'm totally into this domestic violence case. Like, okay, bro, that's fine. Motherfuckers that don't wake up before 1 p.m. normally, waking up at 5 a.m. to cover the trial. Like, we know what's going on. And you're farming it. You're farming the content. It's going to hopefully go away at a certain point because I feel like the culture revolving around it has gotten incredibly, no hate, but like 60% of Asmongold's YouTube channel is Johnny Depp trial now. I mean, dude, we are content creators, folks. It's easy content. It's super easy content. That's why everyone's doing it. Here, I mean, I'll look this up right now. Look, Asmongold TV, right?
There's me right there, and then there's...
Let's look at these videos. Like, Amber Heard expert proves Johnny Depp's abuser 15K in 27 minutes. Johnny Depp lawyer 2 hours ago, 112K fucking views. 647 best Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial memes. Almost 1 million views in 3 days. Judge pauses Johnny Depp trial. 649K views. Amber Heard blackmailed Johnny Depp. Disney and Johnny Depp X unbelievable testimony. 547K views. Dude, I mean, this is like... there's a reason why Asmongold has a fucking 155,000 people watching him right now. And look, you can't fault the dude. You know, he's getting his paper. If OJ trial occurred today, people would still be bitching. Yeah, straight up. There's a great video essay on capital punishment on YouTube called Sean. Give it a shot. Yeah, I love Sean. We will watch it. This isn't a criticism of your coverage, which I think has been fine, but I'm so glad this is the last week of this trial. Yeah. So why are you not doing it? Because I'm going to be honest with you, because I think it's boring. And I think that there's like so much more to talk about. This trial inherently is political. It's about domestic violence. It's about men potentially being victim of domestic violence and then not getting their not being heard. It's about like the way that society treats women when they come out on issues of domestic violence. Is about weaponizing the Me Too movement. I do think that Amber Heard did do that straight up. But the issue is that like a lot of incels have been waiting for this moment, and they're just like, they're using this as a way to say like men too, which yes, men are also absolutely fucking abused, and their abuse often does go unheard. And it is unfortunate. I don't know. It fucking sucks, dude. It really does. YouTube for the past 3 weeks. Solve my riddle. Creepy Goblin calls out Amber Heard using enchanted riddle. Yeah, this is basically what it is. Everything is turned into like Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. Because here's the thing. It makes money. It gets the fucking views. There's a lot of people on the internet with a lot of resentment towards mainstream media, which this trial basically is like a fuck you to mainstream media, because mainstream media is like seen as uniformly around Amber Heard. After all, she did write her op-ed on mainstream media originally, even though like The Sun is a mega right-wing dish rag newspaper. It's still, by the internet's attitude, it's still considered to be mainstream media and therefore liberal. Okay. There's zero doubt in my mind that these numbers are being juiced artificially. People who have never interacted with anything to do with the trial are getting so much algorithmic exposure to it. Yes. 100%. Isn't mutual abuse a myth? Wasn't Depp proven guilty in this trial is about defamation? Why would Amber Heard be the abuser? There's two things. Oh my God, I've talked about this so many times. There's two things that are happening here, okay? There is winning the public attitude, okay? There's winning in the court of public opinion, and then there's actually winning the defamation suit. Johnny Depp lost the defamation suit in the UK, which has a way lower standard of winning defamation suits. So, of course, he's going to lose the defamation suit in America as well. But that's not the main reason why he's doing this. The main reason why he's doing this is so that he can win at least in the court of public opinion, so that people no longer see him specifically as just a domestic abuser, a violent man, but instead as a victim of domestic abuse by Amber Heard, who then turned around after actually, in my opinion, abusing Johnny Depp, which Johnny Depp was abusive as well. Do not misunderstand me. But after abusing Johnny Depp, turned around and wrote op-eds, wrote an op-ed and defended defended herself and basically positioned herself in mainstream media as like the exclusive victim of domestic abuse in this relationship. She, in my opinion, relied on patriarchal attitudes as demonstrated by numerous phone conversations that were unearthed when she wrote that article. When she actually told Johnny Depp, like, no one will believe you. Okay? And that's it. That's the reason. And there's a lot of fucking cultural attitude against. There is a lot of like there's a lot of anti Me Too resentment amongst the incels on the internet that are super active. There's a lot of anti-mainstream media resentment amongst everyone for the most part. And mainstream media is seen as like the Amber Heard defenders. So a lot of the independent media outlets and a lot of independent content creators like Twitch streamers and YouTubers are making a fuckload of money off of covering this trial because there's people who expect it. They want to fucking talk about it. They want someone to tell them, yes, you are right. Lamestream media does suck. And also women do be lying, okay? Unfortunately, though, Amber Heard does happen to be lying in some of these instances. Do I think that Johnny Depp was also abusive? I do. Okay, I've talked about it already. Do I think that Johnny Depp went out and wrote an op-ed, though, about how he was the victim of domestic abuse and like Amber Heard was a fucking villain in his life? Nope, he did not. You can say I'm a centrist all you want, but I'm operating off of what fucking actual professionals who worked on both of these people said, okay? Amber Heard did a bunch of fucked up shit. So did Johnny Depp. But only one side went and fucking wrote an article, and one side went to court and defended that. And said, no, like Johnny Depp is an abuser. Yes. In a defamation suit launched against The Sun. Okay? There was also one side that tried to get out of the relationship, and Amber Heard was like, nope, not happening. Some of these instances, she threw plates at him and made his hand bleed. Her side literally has no proof and no witnesses. No, that's not true. Johnny Depp did fucking kick Amber Heard on a private jet. And that's it. If the standard to call someone a fucking wife beater is whether a person has beat their wife one time, and that is the standard, then yes, Johnny Depp is, you can legally speaking say Johnny Depp is a wife beater, even in a place like fucking the UK. That's just the truth. And that's precisely why he's going to fucking lose the defamation case anyway, but he's still winning the public attitude. Johnny Depp is not a perfect victim, okay? Which is ironic because a lot of people are now on the Amber Heard style saying Amber Heard is an imperfect victim, which is what I was saying. Johnny Depp is an imperfect victim, and therefore expecting Johnny Depp to be perfect is fucking stupid, but a lot of stans are still motivated to make him out to be a perfect victim. He's not. He's an imperfect victim. He's a victim of addiction, and he's a victim of domestic violence, okay? Amber's team aren't even talking about that kick. It doesn't matter. I don't care what Amber's team is talking about. I'm telling you what the fucking facts are. And the facts are that Johnny Depp's team had inconsistent defenses with respect to like what actually happened on that private jet. The first fucking instance of abuse was well documented. Hasan not having a controversial opinion, challenge impossible. I'm sorry that like I am always going to stand by my convictions and tell you exactly how certain things are. I don't care. You know, guys, I I speak out against American imperialism. If you think that, you know, that this is anything in comparison to that, you're out of your fucking mind. Okay? False light is a cause of action similar to defamation with a lower evidence threshold. She's continuing with the countersuit for 100 mil for her defamation case after this, so we will see this all over again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, Amber Heard really tried to destroy Johnny Depp, but in the end, she just shit the bed. I mean, it's just wild to me to look at, like, these two fucking clown freaks, okay? Amber Heard is a psycho. It's just the truth. And so is Johnny Depp. He's a fucking clown theater kid. You know what I mean? He was like, cut me. Here's a knife and cut me. And then these fucking stands on either side are literally just like, he was so incredibly fucking artistic. You don't understand it. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. No other situation where you ever look at this like fucking out of touch, liberal ass, weird fucking theater kid who like has a fake accent and go, I love this person. It's like, no, because you saw him as Jack Sparrow and your fucking lizard brain can't see him as anything but that like lovable character that you grew up with, okay? That's it. That's straight up it. Are you saying that both victims and both in the wrong? Does there have to be someone to blame, or is it acceptable that they say it's a fuck situation, there isn't someone who's perfect? I still side with Johnny Depp on this. And the reason why I side with Johnny Depp on this is because, like, at least Johnny Depp was not, like, Johnny Depp wasn't fucking going out and, like, writing op-eds and shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one who got fucking cumstered. Partially because, you know, his career was on the downtrend regardless, but Johnny Depp did get fucking cumstered originally, okay? He did. But goddamn, do some of these fucking incel freaks make that so hard? Or not even like incel, femcells who like want to fuck Johnny Depp. Like the amount of TikTok videos of like, you know, of women being like, what? Like while she is talking about like how she was abused or whatever the fuck, there are so many women that like literally will make videos about how like, what's the problem? Like, I wish he fucked me like that. I'm like, dude, you're a psycho. You're insane, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop being so weird. I want to shake these people. I want to fucking grab him and shake him. Shake some sense into them. There is, so the more the trial proceeds, the more we're regressing as a society. There's quite literally genuinely no hope for women. What is this? Rebel Wilson reveals that years ago she was sexually harassed by co-star. He called me into a room and pulled down his pants. I thought even complaining to my agency was a big step, and the complaint to the studio, I found out I was like the fourth person to complain about the guy. I have to admit, this whole Amber Heard shit has me immediately questioning this, which sucks. Obviously something I need to work on, but taking a step back, I never questioned first, and it's so frustrating that a woman in this day and age would smear our collective name by lying like this. The damage she has caused didn't stay with Depp. It affected everyone. I hope Rebel gets justice or closure. I really don't fucking like her, but no one deserves it. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, I'm just going to say something here, okay? It's so easy to unwind any kind of action taken towards like righting the wrongs of like a patriarchal criminal justice system that has absolutely cumstered women regularly. They've created an attitude on top of that where like women are always not to be believed. They're always lying. They're fucking crazy. And there was like a little bit of fucking movement in the other direction. And of course, like there were certain instances where Me Too did take it too far, where they were like, oh, you had a bad date? That's a Me Too moment. Like that's actually a rape or whatever the fuck. And everyone was like, what the fuck? No, stop. And then of course, and this is what happened every time. Okay. This is what happens every fucking time. It would literally be like, here's a person that has raped like 100 women and is like in a position of power and has basically like carefully created a system where like he could continue raping women, okay? And then they'd be like, West Elm Caleb ghosted me, so we need to dox him and murder him. Like, what the fuck? What? Or what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. Anyway, whatever. I mean, I understand the anxiety and the anger and the frustration that people have towards this sort of thing because like they've never gotten if you've never gotten like any kind of fucking restitution and you've been routinely fucked over by the criminal justice system and the patriarchy, then of course like you're gonna wild out a little bit. Okay, yeah, Aziz Ansari was another great example of like this is gonna be the new normal. Like, no, it wasn't, because guess what? A lot of people were like, that's insane. Shut the fuck up. You are being insane right now. Okay? And that's what happened. That's what happened. But ultimately, now we're in a situation where people are so easy to like unwind from this, so easily, so interested in like turning this around and being like, this sucks. Can we get it clean? It's about ethics in games journalism for the incel YouTube video. You think I'm doing incel shit? While I'm personally describing every other thing that you just mentioned, this, you think I'm doing incel shit here? Society was so horny to overcorrect. Told me this is Gamergate 2. Yeah, no, I'm literally saying that. Yet another instance where, you know, an incredible chatter is basically fucking repeating what I'm saying, but doing it in a snarky way to make it seem like I'm not saying that. I'm saying the opposite. All the dudes who got canceled from Me Too are doing very well now. No, of course. It didn't even fucking work. Of course it didn't even work. For the record, it did not. I know. I mean, Louis C.K. fucking literally has a Grammy for the best comedy album, okay? And as much as I loved Louis C.K. and his comedy, like, let's be real. Homie was whipping his cock out. That was crazy. You can't do that. I mean, I don't know what to say. You can't do that, man. You can't fucking do that. But listen. Ultimately, look. It even ruined Louis C.K. comedy for me. Most of it was about masturbating and shit. I know someone who thinks it was fine because he asked first, at least. Like, that's insane, dude. But why do you sometimes sound like Tucker Carlson? I don't know. I listen to too much. Canceling during the Me Too movement is just an attempt to grab a bit of power against powerful men because things trending that way or only things seemingly cause any major what? Or it doesn't actually work and isn't a long-term solution at all. Like, some of the things that really fucking annoyed me during the Me Too era and in the Time's Up era is that, like, straight up, there were people who literally were just like, okay, you were a bad person, whatever. And then they would turn around and like literally defend other bad people in positions of power. Like the person that was involved in Time's Up, there was a person involved in Time's Up that straight up was working with Andrew Cuomo. Okay? There was a person that, like, there were so many people that themselves were involved in like multiple accusations that were like, yeah, me too. That's right. We love Me Too. We love girl bossing. And it's like, okay, dude. Well, I guess you're not fucking girl bossing that hard. And it's a really weird subject to broach because we have no, I don't know. We just like look to celebrities and do hero worship and love them unconditionally. So I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to parse through that without people fucking freaking out. And it is deeply frustrating. It is deeply frustrating to see, like, on the one side, you have people taking advantage of this, which is a very realistic, understandable counter to being fucked over by the criminal justice system and being fucked over by the patriarchy. Okay? It's a totally understandable reaction that women had and people had in general. I forgot to run the ad break, by the way, so I'm going to run it right now at the top of the hour, but at 20 minutes in, I missed it pretty heavily, so we're going to do that currently. If you no longer want to see those ads, if you want to ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Everyone wants to abuse you and everyone wants to be abused. They or we need attention. What? Yeah. Would you have Obama on stream? Yeah, that'd be great. Here's the woman ad break now. Okay, hold on. The Depp worship has been insane, and I've been getting recommended videos on YouTube about it nonstop. Feels like Gamergate all over again. Yes, this is a lot like Gamergate. Okay, now that I've described why Me Too happened, which is like the first part of this equation, and I also described how Me Too also in certain instances got out of hand by people who were like weaponizing it, or by people who themselves were like involved in like nefarious, horrible shit themselves. Okay, there was also a ridiculous reaction to it by people who just straight up wanted to continue the whole like, no, we should just always disbelieve women because women are fucking lying bitches. Okay. There were plenty of people who just sat around and waited for an opportunity to just like blast all this shit out. There were a lot of them. And this is a perfect example of that. This is a perfect instance for those people. Thank you, Zam Kamek, for the 10 gift subs. This was a perfect example for all of those people to just like tie themselves to a likable actor from our childhood, like Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow, with who was genuinely, in my opinion, in my assessment, a victim of domestic violence in the hands of Amber Heard. Was he abusive? Yes, he was. But was he also a victim, albeit an imperfect one? Absolutely. Okay? Straight up. And in that situation, and people go, so she was also a victim. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Johnny Depp hit Amber Heard, okay? He did. If you want to use that one instance to be like, Johnny Depp is the abuser in this situation, you're a little bit of a weirdo. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, oh, there was one instance where like Johnny Depp definitely hit Amber, so I guess Johnny Depp is actually the abusive party here, like the entire time. Okay, well, there's like 11 million fucking instances throughout this relationship where like, people have way more evidence on behalf of like Amber Heard abusing Johnny Depp. They're both horrible. They're bad. They're fucking not nice. Okay, they're not good people. Literally, no one is saying that. I mean, hey, if you look to certain communities on the internet, I'm pretty sure there are people who are saying that nonstop, actually. Okay. Bro, please go to news and not reality TV court Sag. 23 months subscriber, always wrecked. Have fun with that permaban. This is not even like a live assessment or a live reaction to the ongoing court trial, but instead a meta-analysis over Gamergate type, culture warriors taking advantage of a very public affair here. If you can't comprehend the argument that I'm making here or my assessment of the situation, and you think I'm just like doing reality TV, you're a fucking baboon. Okay. Witness testimony / evidence can't be the decider if you believe a victim's story or not. Domestic abuse and sexual assault, especially, are inherently private for obvious reasons. No, I do get it. I do understand that. My main motivator for believing that Johnny Depp is a victim in this circumstance, contrary to popular opinion prior to this trial, is for two main reasons. Well, three, if we're going to be total about this. Three main reasons. Number one, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard hired a marriage counselor, a therapist. This marriage counselor / therapist said in this court case that Amber Heard was abusive physically to Johnny Depp and said that there was an instance of mutual abuse. She said that Johnny Depp would try to physically evacuate and physically leave the room. Yeah, no one is saying that. I know. So many people are saying that, especially in mainstream media. Anyway, their marriage counselor said that there was mutual abuse in this instance, okay? And that Johnny Depp would try to leave the altercation. And Amber Heard would even resort to physical acts of violence to pull him back in to said altercation. Okay? That is what abusive partners do. There were numerous instances where Johnny Depp tried to leave and the altercation would escalate. So that's number one. That's one of the most important reasons why I'm saying like Amber Heard was the responsible party in this domestic violence instance. Okay, in this domestic violence case. Number two is some of the incidents, including the one where like Johnny Depp's finger got cut off. I don't think he cut off his dominant hand's finger. Okay, personally. And I do think that, and there's plenty of evidence to show that, like, people thought, or his doctor and everyone else that was, like, immediately involved in that situation saw that Amber Heard had cut off his finger. So I think that it's, like, psychotic that people turn around and go, no, he cut his own finger off. You're fucking crazy. So that's number two. And lastly, number three, and the final moment here, and the final piece of evidence for my assessment is Amber Heard on the phone, on a recorded phone conversation, telling Johnny Depp that no one would believe him. No one would believe him if he came out and said to people that he was being abused. Okay? She fucking said that. She straight up, in a phone conversation with Johnny Depp, absolutely fucking said, no one will believe you, Johnny. No one will think this is a fair fight. If you say you defended yourself physically, no one is going to believe you. And for the record, she was right. And that is an abusive person taking advantage of the patriarchal constructs and patriarchal attitudes that dictate that men can't be victims in a domestic violence incident. Okay, that video was Photoshopped. What video are you talking about? Photoshopped video? What are you saying right now? Okay, so those are the three main reasons why I believe Johnny Depp was a victim of domestic violence. Even though he himself is not exactly the greatest person, okay, the greatest party here. He is a victim of domestic violence, albeit an imperfect victim. And he has also lashed back and has hit Amber Heard. I do believe that. I believe that because I believe Johnny Depp's own words saying I was the monster. I was turning into a monster and I'm sorry. So, of course, I do believe that because I believe his own words. Okay? He's gonna lose his defamation case for sure, but like the 500K psychos watching Asmongold will give no fucks whether he lost or not. They're only watching this to justify how they feel about women because they can't get laid and spend all day on Twitch and are pissed. I do agree with that. Yes, I do think that like Johnny Depp is going to lose this defamation case as he lost the defamation case in the UK, which is like a much lower standard to prove. And he's gonna lose this one as well, inevitably. But ultimately, he will have won the court of the public opinion, especially on the internet, and that's it. That's it. That's the reason why this is a very public defamation suit happening in Virginia. And Johnny Depp has won the court of public opinion, especially on the internet. Now, of course, there's a lot of people who are guided, motivated by their own personal anger towards women and shit that are going to make they're going to derive systemic they're going to derive like their resentment against the systems. And engage in like women hatred and shit like that. But I'm going to 100% instead of leaning into that incel shit. I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you how it is. Okay. But the discourse is open and will drag on for fucking ever. I mean, dude, it was in many ways it was already a fucking patriarchal construct. Okay, no matter what happens, no matter what oh my god, please ban him. Just not 10 minutes, dude. Not 10 minutes. Just fucking permanently ban people that say like move on. Okay. It's really fucking whack, dude. It's so lame when people do this shit. It just pisses me off. Fuck you, dude. You do not like you. A lot of you who do this have like mini tyrant attitudes. Like I bet you treat like waiters and stuff like shit. You know, people in the service industry. I bet you treat them like absolute fucking dog shit. Like I have a profound amount more power than obviously someone who's like serving you food, and you still think you can exercise and flex it in here. Like so. Oh my god. I don't even want to know how fucking disrespectful and rude you are to people in the service industry. Oh, geez, Lord mercy. Motherfuckers think like because they pay me 2 cents an hour for a year or whatever, they think they can like come in here and just like say just the most dog shit. Say just like the worst things. Clarify, Asman himself is fine, by the way, and it's pretty reasonable. From what I've seen, it's just the psychos watching it all day. Yeah. It's too bad that getting someone in public justice like someone for Johnny means that a bunch of incels are going to start victim shaming women who did actually suffer abuse. I mean, those guys were going to fucking victim shame women anyway. It doesn't fucking change anything, really.
Did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life.
This, Johnny Depp insists, is the truth, that Amber Heard was the aggressor in their volatile, sometimes violent, 4-year relationship.
In her frustration and in her rage and her anger, she would strike out. She would... It could begin with a slap. It could begin with a shove.
Now Heard's team is putting Depp back on the stand to challenge his story, kicking off the final stretch of a trial that's become a worldwide sensation.
There's a lot of risk because we know he has been a well-prepared witness and a likable witness for the public at large.
Depp claims Heard defamed him when she called herself a public figure representing domestic abuse in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed. He's suing her for $50 million, and Heard is countersuing for $100 million. Witness after witness called by Heard's team has described Depp's drug and alcohol abuse.
He was drunk all the time, a lot of the time.
Fueling a violent rage.
Again, I'm facing Amber. He comes up behind me, strikes me in the back.
Heard herself describing a torrent of abuse, both physical and sexual.
He just hit me over and over and over again. And I thought, this is how I die. He's gonna kill me now.
Depp's team tried to poke holes in Heard's story and her credibility in a withering cross-examination.
There aren't any medical records reflecting that you sought medical treatment for any of these injuries, are there?
I did not seek medical treatment after Australia, no.
Not for the rape?
No, I did not want to tell anyone.
The case is lighting up social media, where everybody's got an opinion. Both Depp and Heard claim the flood of allegations has damaged their careers and cost them movie roles. But
I mean, it is true. That is what happened. How can someone watch this and say mainstream media doesn't give Amber Heard favorable coverage? No, of course, mainstream media is giving Amber Heard favorable coverage. Yes, because because no one wants to take an L, okay? There's a couple different motivating factors here. One, no one wants to take an L and be like, okay, maybe we were like gassing this up a little bit too much, okay? And two, the other reason is because like there is already like a attitude in mainstream media, okay, where mainstream media does end up commodifying and like engaging in the hyper reductive takes on things that are incredibly complex. Okay, that's the point. That's the reason. That's what's going on. It is very difficult for the mainstream media to be like, yeah, let's have a nuanced approach to like when men can be victims too, and how men are victims of domestic violence in the hands of women. Like that's not exactly the same situation that occurred when Terry Crews came out, because he was getting sexually assaulted by another man. But when a man is getting assaulted or abused by a woman, that's a little bit too difficult for the mainstream media to parse through, okay? And that's it. And they already ran with the one-sided narrative that dictated that like Amber Heard was 100% the victim in this situation and Johnny Depp was 100% the abusive party in the situation. So now they can't fucking turn around and be like, yeah, we took an L on that. Actually, it's a little bit more complicated because domestic violence can happen to fucking men and be as a consequence of our patriarchal attitudes that we ourselves are also engaging in. We do not have the understanding that like men can also be abused by women both emotionally and physically. Okay, that's it. The abuse of men being overlooked and Johnny Depp being abusive can both be true at the same time. Yes, it can. But you know what can't happen? The mainstream media coverage of this reflecting that reality. That's the problem. Okay, that's the issue. That's the reason why it's not going to happen. That's why it's coming across like it's a super one-sided. It's a super one-sided attitude that is like hyper focusing on Amber Heard and Amber Heard's innocence and Johnny Depp's guilt. Okay.
But in the courtroom and online, the spotlight is still shining on the darkest chapters of their relationship.
So, Steph, you mentioned the risk of putting Depp on the stand again. So what is the strategy from Heard's team?
Well, legal experts say they had a tough time during the cross-examination with Depp. And if public opinion is anything to go by, a lot of people kind of were endeared by his performance, if you will, during that period of time. So what they're trying to do is get a second crack at him and hopefully try to trip him up.
I mean, think about it this way, chat. There are people in this community, okay? Some of you guys, maybe a lot of you guys actually, want me to take a fucking solid stance on this and be like, it's only Amber Heard. Amber Heard is the only abusive party here, and Johnny Depp is just a simple fucking perfect victim. He's innocent across the board. Or people who turn around and say, no, actually, Amber Heard is completely innocent, and Johnny Depp is the fucking violent party in this situation. He's a big bad man, right? There are people in here that want me to say that. So, of course, mainstream media is going to do that. You know what I mean? And, of course, other content creators are going to do that as well and not look at this in some kind of fucking nuance that it deserves as it is a very complicated story. Okay? So if there are people who are like, if you're only with us or against us in here, then, of course, they're going to be like that in, mainstream media as well.
The gamble is that they may not. And that will be one of the lasting impressions that the jury has of Johnny Depp.
And his team will get another crack as well. So, you know, it's not without risk. All right. Thank you, Steph.
Thank you.
And like, there's a lot going on in this story that, for some fucking weird reason doesn't get a lot of broad coverage either. Like, I've talked about it so much that I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating, I guess. It is important to fucking discuss, I guess. But domestic abuse is incredibly complicated, not because of the interpersonal dynamic and how hidden it can be, but also, or not because of the interpersonal dynamic, but also because of how hidden it can be, okay? It's incredibly hidden. So in a lot of instances, it is going to turn into a he said, she said, because you can hide your fucking scars. Many victims of domestic violence do hide it, okay? Out of embarrassment or love for the other person, their abuser. You understand? Many victims of abuse personally don't even recognize the abuse that they're withstanding while they're in it, and they do everything they can. That's why there's that famous fucking attitude about like, oh, I just fell down the stairs. You know what I mean? Like the famous joke about domestic violence is like, which it's not a joking matter, but understand that it's like so commonplace that there is like a cliche surrounding it where you say, oh, I just fell down the stairs. Oops, and that's like what victims of domestic violence say, right? Or mainstream media is treating this as some sort of sports game. You have to choose a side. So is independent media. Get the fuck out of here. Go to like literally any top streamers chat and see what the fuck they're saying. You think they're defending Amber Heard? No. Okay. Walked into a door is the old saying. Exactly. I fell down the stairs. Popular manga anime talked about that out of nowhere in this ending. Weeps couldn't understand it, so they're raging to this day. What are you talking about? What? Victims of domestic violence get attached to the apology that comes after the abuse. So, anyway, look. ultimately, okay, it is way more complicated than just like, this is the good side, this is the bad side. And I get very frustrated when people are just like jumping on it, being like, no, Amber Heard is a fucking bitch cunt, deserves to die, or whatever the fuck. Or people being like, Johnny Depp's dick needs to be cut off. And for the record, Johnny Depp personally also, I mean, Amber Heard literally took out a temporary restraining order against Johnny Depp and then violated it herself. So just remember that. And was trying to make amends in the aftermath of violating a temporary restraining order in a fucking Los Angeles hotel. So, like, maybe it's because I have personal biases as a consequence of my relationship that I was in, where I did not act like Johnny Depp, certainly, but still, you know, I've said that already. But I do see a lot of attitude there, a lot of experiences that remind me of a toxic relationship that I once was in, which I don't like to talk about too much because people are fucking weirdos and they're going to be annoying and little freaks. So I don't like recounting it, especially because like I myself have forgiven and have moved on and have grown. Everyone has a different attitude in the situation like this, but I think that my attitude is healthy for me. All right. What audio? What is happening? Why are people saying audio? But Amber Heard does strike me with everything that she has said, with like the gaslighting and whatnot that was happening. She does strike me as the type of person who's fucking, you know, abusive and literally took advantage of the patriarchal attitudes towards male victims of abuse. And was selfishly trying to continue the relationship, even though it was incredibly toxic. Cat 10bard says, I've seen a lot of people say that the reaction to Depp versus Heard shows Me Too movement is over. I disagree. Me Too was a catalyst for many victims to come forward, but it did not correct stigmas or misconceptions around abuse, and it did not structurally disrupt patriarchy. The vast majority of Me Too accusations did not lead to court cases, let alone convictions, and many of the social effects of the accused were exaggerated to begin with. Now most of the accused have moved on with their lives and reputations. Like other online-driven movements, the danger of overstating the effects of Me Too is that it creates a false argument against Me Too. Example, you will see people argue that Me Too was an overcorrection for patriarchy, when in reality it not even come close to closing the gap, which is true, by the way. I agree with this. There were overcorrective attitudes within the Me Too movement, and there were certainly people who were using this to their own advantage to like clean up their own background, or even straight up use this to cover up abuses of other people that they were working with. You know what I mean? But ultimately, that was, in my opinion, showcasing how ultimately powerless the Me Too movement was, as it always is. Also, don't say Me Too is over because it discourages victims of all genders from coming forward, leading them to believe the chapter is closed. It will never close, but it will continue to be a work in progress, and we shouldn't overstate its success either. That's why I think my take on this is the best take, obviously, where I say that Johnny Depp is also a victim of both domestic violence and the patriarchal construct that dictates that men can't be fucking victims in the hands of women. It's the truth. My lizard brain cannot understand why you saying that Johnny will burn through 50 to 100 mil just to lose the trial and win some anti-women brain dead men. Johnny Depp is not burning through 50 to 100 mil just to lose the trial. When you lose a defamation trial, you're just not going to get an award from Amber Heard. Amber Heard doesn't have $50 million anyway. How the fuck was he ever going to? Even if he won the defamation suit, which he was never going to, in my opinion, how the fuck was he going to get $50 million from Amber Heard? She doesn't have that kind of money. No, this entire thing is to right the wrongs of prior media coverage surrounding him that totally cucked his potential future prospects in Hollywood. Okay, it's about exactly, chatter. It's about saving his public image, and that's it. And he's doing it by fucking utilizing the simp army on TikTok, but mainstream media is not biting it in the same way, and they're aggressively pushing back against it, saying that it is actually one-sided. Like, fuck this shit. And look at how much Johnny Depp stans are behaving against and Amber Heard stans. And they're right. They are right though, because like Johnny Depp stans are fucking going crazy. Calm down. Holy shit, dude. Like, I don't think it's why it's time to believe Amber Heard. Like, okay, I don't think she's like 100% 100% correct here. But people are deranged on the internet, and they're very heavily fucking motivated to disparage anyone and everyone that goes against them. People have been review bombing the experts called by Amber Heard's team. This is the psychiatrist who testified today, all in the last 10 minutes. My dog stepped on a bee. Scary. Honestly, this doctor seems iffy and scary. Not because I'm a Johnny Depp supporter, is because I was listening to him and the vibe is scary. Terrible doctor. I do not recommend this man to anyone. After what I've seen on TV this afternoon, I'm in the UK. I wouldn't go near this man. Y'all think you're fucking in the right when you do this, dude? That's crazy. That's crazy. Cannot focus on the point of the trial and just make it a popularity contest? Yeah. Now, part of the reason is because everybody loves an underdog too. Like, this is quite literally the perfect fucking the perfect explosion, okay? You need to understand. One, obviously, patriarchy is still supreme, and therefore, people who are on the side of patriarchy are going to have an easier time leaning into pre-existing mainstream attitudes. So that's part of the reason, right? They're using this as an opportunity to weaponize their attitudes about women. Two, Johnny Depp is seen as the underdog in this situation. Because the mainstream media portrayal of Amber Heard historically and leading up to this moment was that she was a victim of domestic violence and domestic abuse, and no such attitude was ever given. No such coverage of Johnny Depp ever existed in mainstream media leading up to this moment. So it's basically a perfect mixture of people believing that Johnny Depp was the underdog who's getting his who is actually able to like right this historic wrong against him. And also attack mainstream media in the process. Okay, that's it. What the fuck? You broke my nose, Johnny. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, this is just like. I mean, she did lie about this, for the record. Like, so it is true. She did lie about that. I'm sorry. That did not happen. Like, her nose was not broken. But this is insane. You spent so much time on this, dude. This is not necessarily a defense of Amber Heard, but in general, I don't think you should imply that if a victim of abuse violates the restraining order that she took out against their abuser, they must be lying about the abuse. Victims will often be the ones to try and go back to their abuser because they've been made to feel dependent on their abuser. Bro, I guess the difference in this situation is that I don't think Amber Heard was like dependent on Johnny Depp or his abuse. Like, I don't think that. I don't believe that because of all the things that she has fucking said. All the things that we have heard from both people that were professionally involved with both parties, and also on top of that, what Amber Heard has directly said to Johnny Depp doesn't seem like she was, personally the party that was like being abused by Johnny Depp. All the things. Okay, stop. This TikTok pretty much sums it all about the trial. I bet this is gonna be terrible.
When you realize you live.
Oh yeah, this one is fucking insane. I'm done. I'm not even gonna watch that again. They're psychotic. Do you think we will get another Pirates of the Caribbean movie asking the important questions? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Someone who's dependent on their abuser don't take a dump on their bed, though. I think it's worth noting that many times people further abuse their victims through the legal system. Not saying that this is the case here, but it's definitely worth noting. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. So that's great point, dude. Fucking great point, chatter. So one other thing that you will see oftentimes with like abusive stalkers, for example, and not saying that Amber Heard is, but one other thing that like abusive stalkers will do sometimes is like because of the way the criminal justice system operates, they will literally go to court specifically to continue having FaceTime with the victim. Like, it's that pathological obsession that guides people into behaving this way. Right? What do you mean show it? What? Well, he took her to court twice. He didn't. He didn't take Amber Heard to court the first time. That's not right. Johnny Depp did not take Amber Heard to court the first time. Johnny Depp sued The Sun for defamation. Amber Heard personally went and gave testimony on the Sun defamation trial to say, no, Johnny Depp did abuse me, when she was called as a witness. Anyway, tweeting about Amber Heard again will only bring pain and punishment, but the reaction to this is really bothering me. Seems the most common interpretation is that this case is a mutual abuse, but if that's true, Amber wasn't lying when she wrote about being a domestic violence victim, yes. So she's currently, I do agree with this, by the way. Like, in the legal standard, Amber Heard, even if it's mutual abuse, Amber Heard was also struck by Johnny Depp. I love people who go, why aren't you... The age gap between her makes them really hard to believe that she's abusing him. Like, come on, he obviously had the power over her. I love that, dude. Thank you. Thank you for having that take. That's my favorite take on the internet. When a 27-year-old fucking woman is like literally a small bean, dude. I love that. I love infantilizing a 27-year-old woman, dude. No, straight up. What's up, dude? You have to be in menopause to be fucking a woman finally with a full developed brain? Or what? Only when you're literally like 50 years old or 60 years old can you actually make your own fucking choices in that situation. I hate that. I hate it so much. She's 36 now, even though she was actually 22 when they met, according to the testimony. No, but like, it doesn't matter. She was 27. She was 27 when the abuse began, and he was being fucking, I don't know. He was like abusing her, or Johnny Depp was abusing her or some shit. That's crazy. He wasn't groomed and he wasn't honey trapped. They were full grown and awful adults. I hate that. I won't agree that she's a domestic violence victim, but the primary problem is that she admitted her own abuse to Depp. Nobody cares about the strictly legal shit on this. Is that she ruined his life when she was complicit in abuse herself and got no shit for it until now. Exactly. That's why I say what I've been saying about the Johnny Depp side of the fucking the Johnny Depp side of the argument. That's it. Only one side, after a divorce settlement, turned around and fucking, went forward with a defamation lawsuit as a primary victim in a defamation lawsuit to ensure that like Johnny Depp was seen as a fucking abusive person. Only one side turned around and wrote an article later talking about how she was victimized by society for coming out and being brave and coming out and being brave about the domestic violence that she withstood. Okay? So that's wild. That's like bullshit. That's legit how society views women. Like, so many women can't get their tubes tied because some future husband, etc. What? Her argument would be that Johnny would have done it if she didn't. No, he never did that. So that's bullshit. Can you talk about the power dynamics? Some people say that just because JP earns more than her, he has power over her, and that means there cannot be mutual abuse. Yeah, I don't care about that. I'm sorry. One of the dumbest fucking things on the internet is like power dynamic conversations that people engage in. It's really fucking annoying. It's something that people love. It's like a very JP, you mean JD? Yeah, I read JP. They're both fucking millionaires, dude. Like, shut up. What, when you make like what, $50 million? When your net worth is like $50 million, like What's up? You're just like not allowed to date anyone that makes less than that? Is that what you're saying? Grown ass women with like millions of fucking dollars in contracts, as a like a famous actress is a small bean, you know, working class, poor small bean with no power, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I hate that. Like, I hate that infantilization of women. Like, that's so stupid. It just, like, makes me so mad when I hear that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. So she's currently being sued for defamation over a statement which, if you think the case of mutual abuse you believe is true, so isn't the lawsuit then an inherently dishonest and aggressive attempt to punish her for telling her side of the story? And turning this into a circus witch burning because YouTube body language experts prove that she's the avatar of supreme evil amounts of complicity with that aggression? That's how it looks to me. The only part of this that I don't agree with is basically why the defamation suit is happening. The defamation suit is not happening because Johnny Depp believes that he's going to fucking win money or anything. The defamation suit is happening so that people see his side. And it's not ever going to be expressed in mainstream media. It's just not. And it hasn't. And that's why I think like TikTok and YouTube and all these other fucking places are going extra you know, bananas mode, you know, really hyping this up because people are looking for that. People are looking for an alternative opinion on the matter, and they can't get it from mainstream media. I'm just going to close this. I'm not going to watch this right now. And they're not getting it from mainstream media, so they're like looking to the internet. Okay? It will be interesting to see in a few years how their relationship turns out and if Depp and Heard will have ongoing public blows with their next partner. Seems like they don't like dating